What's going on with you?
What's happening?
That's what you over there doing, man. You got a whole lot going on around here.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, of course I can hear you. There's a whole lot of moaning and groaning.
All right.
What's up with you?
What's going on?
How'd your Santa Claus?
I didn't even have to do it this morning.
You didn't have to?
I woke up ready. I mobbed around dressed as Santa Claus all night, passing out flyers for this show I was doing, and she texted me this morning like, "Nope, he's gonna be there." So I was like, "All right,
Don't worry about it." I mean, but you know what though, man? At least you was ready to do it. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Then I was thinking about it last night. I was like, I really did just dedicate my whole morning to being Santa. I could have went to church with my mom.
I'm over here. I got some stuff going on. I ain't gonna even sit back. Oh, actually, hold on. Hopefully these cats can do what they supposed to do.
Welcome everybody to our Sunday live town hall meeting. Don't mind us. We just get to talking. Hope everybody had a great week. I hope the world didn't try to beat you up too bad. We're not going to keep you too long today.
Absolutely. Yeah. Got a lot going on today. We got all the football games. Everything's still going on today. We understand that. So
yeah, I'm gonna be eating this pizza in between this show because I'm starving.
I don't even believe that. What did he say? Don't worry, you won't waste away. Don't worry. You won't waste away.
Man, I'm addicted to Snickers pecan candy bars now.
He's about to let these guys beat them, bro. This is crazy, man. Snickers pecan candy bars, huh? Okay.
Yeah, they're delicious. You know. And they're hiding them from me. They got them hidden over in the Christmas section.
Hey, so I know we had a lot going on this week. I know we discussed a few different things that's been going on this week. As far as I know, the drones was a huge thing that you kind of popped out with this week. I'm not sure what's going to come of that. I don't know if that's even like is that even a real is there a big story at this point in time? I know it is because we don't know what they are, but is it really? You feel me?
Yes. It's still it's going to be something until they tell us. And so, I mean, it could be a nothing burger or it could be something more sinister. Okay. The aliens. Oh, we got one here.
You said what again?
He said, I think the drones are trying to investigate the alien ships. I mean, it's crazy. They had that
What's
kind
up, JB? That's my big bro right there. I appreciate you popping in with something, man. Definitely.
They had that meeting a while back, and they were talking about they've been reverse engineering alien technology, and that's how our technology boom has gone so quick from like the 60s up to now. So I mean honestly, if the aliens were to come to Earth, I don't think us humans have anything to defend against anything they can do.
I mean, my friend of mine also said something about drones are possibly looking for radiation signatures, according to a aerospace engineer. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really sure what that is. He sent me a link on him. I have to go check out, but I don't. Like I said, this is just, to me. You got these size of drones flying through the air and nobody knows what they are. I mean, they said they're the size of SUVs, bro. I mean, you can't catch that. I'm sure they're fast, but they ain't that fast, bro. You know,
the government knows what it is. They just don't want people to panic.
So you think it's something? You think it's something that, like my brother said, you think it's something a little bit different than what they're making it out to be?
Yeah, they know exactly what it is. Think about it. If they tell you what it is, it wouldn't even matter if they tell you what it is. There's going to be so many conspiracy theories. Because, I mean, depending on what site you're on, that's all you're going to hear. So they're just like, we ain't going to tell you. You don't want people to panic. Hey, we have these drones in the sky because we're waiting for an imminent attack from a different country.
I mean, they got to know. Like my brother said, yeah, they got to know. At this point in time, they got to know what it is.
They do know.
There's too many satellites in the sky. There's too much imagery that you can go through. You got Google Earth, everything you can kind of utilize to figure out, okay, they got pictures of these things. They know exactly where they are. They know exactly where they went. You know what I mean? They leave. I'm not gonna say they leave trails. They don't leave trails like a jet will leave. But there's something going on. He said they don't want us to panic. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. They don't want us to panic.
He also said they were saying they were flying. We reported on this story like 2 months ago, I think. You know what I mean? Not this exact one. I don't know if maybe it was this one, but this exact one. I know they were in Virginia as well. They had them flying over military bases over there. They didn't know. They were like, we don't know who they are, where they're coming from.
They're going around undetected.
you know,
And the story just kept sticking around.
And so, I mean, now we're here, you know, at this point, and there's a lot more. It seems to be from what we're seeing now, there seems to be a lot more. There probably were a lot then. We just didn't pay attention, didn't recognize it. You know what I mean?
Scenario. So the government comes out and says, hey, we're under imminent attack, and we're under the gust that we're about to have an imminent attack from a foreign country. People will panic.
Do you think that's, I mean, why are we flying around drones for a foreign attack for you know what I'm saying? Worst case scenario. I think worst case scenario would be something else like outside of our world. That's worst case scenario.
I think they're probably training the drones. Like, if anything, they're like, you know, the drones are man-craft or aircraft that are people are in it. They're training the people to use the drones in case they get into a drone attack. Like, it's about to be Terminator Salvation up in here.
I mean, we should already be. I mean, if we were smart, we'd be. I mean, you got a testing ground already in Ukraine. You have a testing ground over there. You know what I mean? We could be testing out all of our drone technology, a lot of it over there against the Russians. That's what you should be doing right now. That's what I would be doing. All of our swarms. You know what I mean? We need to start doing more light displays like they do over in China. Like you were saying, we need to start doing some of that over here, man. Like, so we can get so good at it. Like, we got.
They tried. You know what Americans did? They were like, nah, we like the gunpowder.
This is what I'm gonna say. Like, gunpowder is stupid, bro. Mm-hmm. Hey, listen. The one thing I would say that makes a little bit more sense is, like, we do need to cut some regulations when it comes to certain things, like, you know, like as far as like allowing things to get to market faster, allowing us to be able to test out certain technology a little bit quicker rather than having to go through all the different, you know, steps of getting there, because other countries are starting to get further ahead of us. You see the telephone that China made. I mean, I don't know if it was China or Taiwan, one of those countries. Basically, you can grab off what's off your phone like this and throw it onto somebody else's phone like that. Like, this, just like some shit that's just out of this world type shit. You know what I mean? Right now,
there's gonna be dudes in the club just throwing out dick pics all day.
I mean, hey, it's that, and a lot of other stuff are going to be going on too. Like a lot of people's information is going to be getting stolen off their pages too. It just shows us how far ahead these other countries can jump, because they don't have to go through the same type of regulations, and they don't have to worry about litigation like we do here. Like, if something like this happens, then next thing you know, you're going to have so much litigation going on because somebody's going to sue about it. You feel me? Oh, this person stole my information because they didn't put safeguards in place for X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean?
People can do that now. They have like hacker apps on their phone, on people's phones, and so all they have to do is hit your phone with their phone, and they can take all your information. Well, if you have the Bluetooth open up on your phone, people can just hack your phone and steal your information that way.
Well, that's bad business right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we need to do something about that more than anything else. Another story that I want, just not to get off of this too much, but just the whole entire kind of the thing with Jay-Z, the thing that's happened with Jay-Z, and kind of how that story. He said the government's not behind the American public. That's a good one right there. That's a good point to make right there. Honestly, you know what I mean? And that's probably what it is. But to me, I want to see it though. I mean, sometimes you gotta let us see it to let me. If I'm watching what's going on with with China, and I see they got drone swarms that can fucking make firework displays and make faces and all kinds. They can make a human face in the sky, make it wink, dance, turn into something else. You know what I mean? Like, I need to see that. I need to see we can do the same thing. I believe we can. Show me. I need to see it. You know what I mean? I'm one of them people. I need to see it happen, bro. You know, I can't just.
They're not going to show you everything about it. They've had GPS since like the 30s, and they decided to finally let us use it in like the 1990 something.
He said the 30s.
I'm saying
no, I know what you're saying. No, they've had it for a long time, but at the same time,
forever. I was like, y'all had this the whole time, and I had to use MapQuest.
But just with me though, I gotta be able to see it, bro. You know what I mean? You got to show me that we got the technology, so that I'll feel comfortable. You know what I mean? Like, I got to at least be able to feel comfortable when it comes time for that type of stuff to be going on. We can either jump to Jay-Z, we can jump to the Daniel Penny. Maybe we'll do the Daniel Penny thing first.
Okay.
That we talked about this week. Daniel Penny, he's the guy who put Jordan Neal in a chokehold on a subway train in New York, and they just found him not guilty on all charges. We showed the video, and man, it looked kind of crazy. I know a lot of people were for the fact of what he did. You know what I mean? Like, hey, say he's a hero. But if you watch the video, he has a guy holding his arms, and then this dude's choking him. Like, they got him in a rear naked chokehold. I think that's what it's called. You know what I mean? And choking him out. And he kills him. You know what I mean? Like, I think if you choking somebody for so long and you feel their body go limp on you, you should probably let go or ease up a little bit. If they're not able to fight you off, easily because it didn't like he could fight him off too easy. He didn't even have his arms. You could have let him breathe at least and just held him down. You feel what I'm saying? You could have given him a little bit of air, a little bit of room to be able to breathe. This dude just wrenched back on his neck and just, you know what I mean? Like you did a little bit too much. And then at the same time, if you watch this week, I guess they had, I think it was at the Army Navy game, football game, the college game. They had JD Vance there. They had Elon Musk, Trump was there, and they brought Daniel Penny there like as a sign of an American hero. You know what I mean? To me, that's like kind of almost like a slap in the face. You know what I mean? Like, is it because he defended someone and killed someone, or is it because that other person was a person of color that he did it to?
Sir, if you look at that as a slap in the face, then you've been getting pimp slapped for the last couple years now. This is America. Of course, they're gonna hold him up. You know what I'm saying? They okay with that. Exactly what he did.
No, absolutely. I agree that they're okay, but I'm like, why? It needs to be some type of explanation.
This is America. This is America.
Yeah. But
what always run like this?
What are they celebrating though? Are they celebrating the fact that he actually stood up for doing the right thing and he defended the people on the train from a person who did not have a weapon? First,
killing an unarmed a black dude from behind. That's exactly what they.
So look, he didn't have a weapon.
Shot people that were trying to defend, no matter what their history was. Kyle Rittenhouse was a minor, drove across states with an AR-15, shot 2 people, and they held him in high regard. Was it Andrew Zimmerman? Andrew Zimmerman shot Andrew Zimmerman shot an unarmed black kid because he followed him and confronted him and started some shit. A teenager, and then he got to sell the gun. They love it. I tell you, I always tell people
he's signing Skittles bags, everything like that. Yeah.
If they made a bill that specifically protected Black Americans from discrimination, like they did to Asians, if they made a bill like America wouldn't even be America no more. They'd be like, we don't even want to be here.
I hear what you're saying on that right there. I think me and you always have a point of contention on that right there because I do believe that we do have hate crime bills and other things like that. I know what you mean, like if it specifically pointed towards Black Americans. But my thing with this is it's such a sketchy area with this dude because he did, you know, he was trying to defend the people on the train. But if you watch the video, it's kind of like, damn, imagine yourself getting choked out from behind and you can't even put your arms up to kind of like try and like alleviate some of the pressure from your neck because someone else has your arms held down. So should the other guy been held, you know what I mean? Should he been held into account too? The other guy who was holding his arms?
Yeah.
I think so too. I mean, because it's almost like having 2 police officers. And the other 3 guys who sat on top of what was his name? The guy up in Minnesota.
Ooh.
What's his name? I can't remember his name right now. Either. George Floyd. You had 3 other officers sitting on him too, but the other guy was on his neck. So I mean, they all were held into account. This is not to say that the other guy who was holding who was holding Jordan Neely's arm.
It's not a black or a white thing, but it's just like if somebody has a mental break in public, you're allowed to come behind them and subdue them until they can't harm anybody else, even if they didn't hurt nobody. I mean, that's just the president and what it says. You know, like you can always bring that case up and be like, well, you know, my client did this because of this reason and this case number, blah, 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 because that's what they do in court. They'd be like, well, if we refer back to this case, it's the same thing now. So vigilantism is going to be allowed. I mean, they're going to do it anyways when they start doing $1,000 for the bounty. That's like my cousin.
That's what we're heading towards right now. Because okay, let's correlate those 2 facts that you just said just now.
No, they sat on him. There's like 2 other people on his ass, holding his arm.
Are you not? I mean, no. It was just the one guy behind him, and the other guy just holding his arms down. But I mean, he's holding his arms down.
There were 3 of them at first. There was 3. Yeah, there was a couple people on top.
And I know, like for JB, you know, like in wrestling, a person's body is going to go limp after a minute. If you stop, I mean, you're going to have a little bit of a tug. You're going to feel him tugging at you. You couldn't even feel that because his arms were down. So you're going to feel him trying to struggle. Then all of a sudden, when that body starts going limp, you got it. The adrenaline has to stop at some point in time because it ain't like he had a weapon, brother. You just basically was fighting this dude straight up. It's like, you know, hands. He probably didn't even have to hit him. He probably just grabbed him from behind and put him in a chokehold. So you really had no real resistance, probably, you know what I mean, during the fight. So he could have like stopped at some point in time. To me personally, you got to be charged with manslaughter or something. I mean, I know
exactly, bro. It's like it's a manslaughter charge. Like exactly, that's what it would. You know I mean, I would have been charged with manslaughter. They'd be like, "Hey, good job and all, but you know."
I mean, because you got to be, because if not, then at the same time, anytime you get into a fight, this is what you should be able to do. If a person says anything to you, that's a threat. That's not you're defending yourself. I'm not just it shouldn't just be that I'm defending a crowd of people. They can run from dude. He ain't got a weapon. He don't have anything that could hurt them. Not he's showing.
They could have slapped him up a little bit.
If they
honestly.
wanted to, dudes. I mean, the way he looked small. He looked like a smaller dude. You know what I mean? He looked skinny, kind of. You know what I mean? Not to say a
But
skinny person couldn't get down.
He was dark skinned, so he looked scary.
I mean, you know, I don't want to say what a person's thinking when it comes to that, but I know what you mean. I hear. I've heard the same thing before too. As far as
okay, so the guy, homeboy Luigi, shoots a United Health worker, right?
Yeah,
and they're like, "Oh my God, why are you guys, praising this other guy that got shot?" You know what I'm saying? But they're both the same. Like I hear more about Luigi, and they're humanizing him too.
Yeah,
we're in a different time now here in America, and people just need to get with the program. We're going to be able to be vigilantes. They're going to post martial law. If somebody gets out of line, you're going to be able to shoot them. People are going to get hella outlandish and say whatever they want to say to you. And either you can cower in fear or you can stand up and defend yourself. That's basically what it is.
So do you think that, like
Free
I'm
Luigi.
saying, you said free Luigi? Is that what they're saying right now? That's the big thing. I think at a show just here recently, they were having it so that dude, they were basically showing his pictures in the background of a concert. Like he's he's gonna become some sort of a folk hero. You know what I mean?
Everybody's has a family member that's been denied service or didn't get proper medical care. And they be like, yo, I've been paying in this. And you watch, everyone has a family member like that. Everyone has a family member. They sit there and watch them suffer almost every day, or watch them suffer because they couldn't get proper medication, proper dental or proper care from a hospital because of insurance companies. And nobody has sympathies for these CEOs of anything. Think about you work at Walmart and you gotta work at Walmart and then be on food stamps because Walmart won't pay you enough money. You got to work at McDonald's and you got to work 2 hours before you can even afford 50% off your meal.
No, like I say, I agree with you. They got the lady now in Florida that we just talked about this week too, who kind of was like a copycat of this guy. She didn't try to kill anybody, but I think what did she do? Did she write a note? Or
she called her insurance and they denied her claim. So she said the three letters. She's like, well, fine, you guys are next. She's like,
I'm laughing, but it ain't funny, but it is.
It's funny.
She said, y'all next. She said, you guys are next.
Yeah.
She's wild for that.
Yeah, she said delay, denied, depose.
But did she say all she said was you guys are next? That's it.
She said delay, denied, depose. Y'all are next. And then hung up the phone. Then the FBI came to see her. She's like, I don't even own a gun.
Put him on there. He said Luigi the stupidest hitter ever. That's factual. He is. I'm gonna tell you why, because he let the girl get him. If it wasn't for the girl at McDonald's or wherever that place, it wasn't McDonald's, some kind of a coffee spot, wherever he went.
What's that? Like a brothel or whatever.
A brothel.
Yeah, he went to a brothel, and the girl was like, "Let me see that cute smile," and he was like,
"Hey, listen, do you know what a brothel is, brother?" You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? You mean like a brothel, brother? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, a hostel. Excuse me, a hostel.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Brothel's where you got to go pay for it, I guess.
But a hostel is basically where you can go and pretty much, you can stay the night there for a couple nights. He must be. I don't know where he was from, but I mean, obviously, him falling for that one. Let me see your smile. Like, let me see your pretty smile. But she's smart enough to have done that, though. Honestly, it's like I don't think that it had anything to do with her asking for a smile. It's probably more just to put him in a situation to where you have him on camera now. And that right there is what triggered everything else.
She's gonna write him a letter with she'd be like, "Hey, big head,
I just got you triple life plea bar." She just got to be either a triple life sentence or the death penalty. I don't think they have death penalty. And where's that in New York? It happened at. Was that
you're gonna find a jury to convict him?
Yeah, you're gonna find a jury to convict him. Okay, I'll tell you why they're gonna.
I don't think so at all.
If they do it quickly, it'll be harder to convict them. But if they take their time, if it's me, if I'm the estate and I waited out for maybe 2 years or whatever, I might be able to get him, because by that time it's going to die down. And next thing you know, we're in the middle of Trump's presidency. We already got vigilantism from people out here running around. You know what I mean? It's going to be it might be a little bit different.
It's $1,000 per person. I'm about to be rolling.
Hey, give him some context. He said she needed the bands. And JB, we was talking about the girl who actually told him to show us a smile in the very beginning. She wasn't the same. It wasn't the same person who might be getting the $60,000 from McDonald's, who told on him, who was like, "Hey, this is the guy who we're looking for. He's in the store right now." You know what I mean? 60,000.
That girl at that McDonald's is like, she just waiting for them to give her the money. She like, this McDonald's, this ice cream machine ain't broke for nothing. I can't wait to tell everybody, fuck this job. I'm stealing all the McFlurry sauce.
Hey, man. Hey, I'll let y'all know what that is. That's just me winning one of my games today. I had to pull that one out.
You don't even watch
good
the games.
business.
You just watch the score.
That's all I care about, man. Sometimes I watch the games, but right now I'm watching the score, okay? And the Jets just won. I know we're getting off topic right there, but the Jets just won. That's a good part of my part of my little parlay I got going on there. But anyway, on to the next.
Gambling's a bad addiction, sir. You should go seek help for that.
Hey, you know what else is a bad addiction? Her putting depose, delay, and whatever she put on them on that letter, and then saying you're next. She's probably
no. She was on the phone. She was on the phone with them. They had all her information. They knew exactly who she was. Like,
okay. So listen, to me, that doesn't sound like a clear threat. That doesn't sound like a clear threat. That could be your next for a lawsuit. Your next for anything. Did she say I'm going to kill you? She didn't say anything.
It's a clear threat. It's the same.
No, it's not.
The same words that were on some shell casings.
Who cares?
She said, you're next. Then the lady called the FBI, and the FBI was like, "Sounds legit."
And that's all because that's all right now because they're at a heightened sense. But go to court with that. If I'm a lawyer, I'm getting that case tossed. This is crap. Delay, depose, and deny. Come on, and then you're next. You're next for what? Yeah, we're going to litigate against your. We're going to make sure we take you guys down next.
What if he gets off?
What she said.
What if he gets? What if think about it? You find a jury that just doesn't want to convict him.
I think that's gonna be. I'm not saying it'll be hard, but it'll be. This gonna be difficult, brother. You know what I mean? Because they're gonna make it pretty cut and dry. He murdered him. If I'm the person, yes, we may not like insurance companies, but this is murder. So should a person be able to take you and do this to you? But if they felt like at work, they felt like you did something to them, you didn't allow them to advance at work. So now they're gonna get you killed. And they're gonna say X, Y, or Z because you did not promote me. They're gonna. I would use that terminology.
That's like saying you call into an insurance company trying to make a claim, but the lady's having a bad day and she don't like the way you talking to her, so she denies your claim, and now you have to be on a respirator because they would have took your claim, but somebody was just denying it anyways, and the CEO told her to do it. Ain't nobody got no sympathies for these rich folks. What did Pusha T say? He's like, now you're out here all by yourself. Ask Steve Jobs, wealth don't buy health. Yeah.
Hey, no, listen, and I agree with you when it comes to that. But if I'm them, I'm humanized. I'm taking it away from it being him. This could be any one of us. So if a person felt like they were slighted and everyone was good enough to go along with them, okay, say a husband or whatever, he said they're gonna blame it on COVID. Hey, but no, listen, say something happened between a husband and wife, and one of them got mad at the other and was like, he did this to me or she did X, Y, and Z to me, right? And they decided to knock them down over something innocuous, something, nothing physical, nothing violent, anything like that. That happens. And then if you can get a jury to then say, oh, we sympathize with them for that, then they should get off. That's what they're going to play this as. That's what I would do. I'm not saying that he should be convicted for what he did. I'm not saying that at all. Because do I believe that he did the right thing in his heart? I mean, hey, man, sometimes you can't play with people's lives. This is what it is. You can't sit around and deny people's claims and play with people's lives and expect nothing to happen to you.
Oh, you know they've been expecting it. They'd be like, I ain't gonna do nothing.
It ain't nobody did nothing. You know what I mean? But you got okay. You know what I mean? I don't want to get too far off subject, but we had a show that we did where basically we were talking about how the media has been coming after successful black men. You know what I mean? And it's been going on for a while, and I feel like we've kind of let it happen amongst ourselves and in our community. We look at how they came after Puffy, he has problems. He has things that may look negative. I just put something on my page today kind of talking about it, where they were talking about how like even with like Epstein and like, you know what I mean? And like the guy Abercrombie and Fitch, they said they gave him a $10 million bond, right? Yeah. And this dude is like, they're actually accusing him of sex trafficking, like large scale sex trafficking. But everybody, didn't matter, minors, majors, corporate, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, he's sex trafficking. You want that
summer line, don't you?
You know what I'm saying? But look, but they gave him a $10 million bond. They gave Weinstein a bond to let him out. They gave him all bonds. You know what I mean? So and Puffy tried to put up $50 million. You know what I mean, for his bond, not just money. He put up his private planes, he put up houses, he put up his kids' passports, everything. You get what I'm saying? And they denied him a bond. So to me, it's kind of like, are we being selective on who we're giving bonds to and who we're not?
Yeah, of course. And they passed a whole bunch of laws saying you're supposed to get bail and all that stuff.
That's in California. That was in California. They passed that laws.
The thing that makes it worse about the Puffy situation is that we all join in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we were so happy to see that about Puffy.
You can sit there and talk. You could be black folks talking about Epstein, but ain't nobody give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like just like back in the day, who was the guy that was eating black people in the neighborhood and that Jeffrey Dahmer?
Jeffrey Dahmer, yeah. Look at you.
Yeah, Jeffrey Dahmer is eating black folks in the black neighborhood, and they was like, we don't care. You know what I'm saying? It's the whole thing. It's like we have to just stop participating in it.
Push it under the rug.
Yeah.
You look at what they did to Michael Jackson. You know what I mean? Look at what they did to him. That was a childhood hero growing up.
They told Michael Jackson, they were like, if you go to jail in LA, we're gonna put you in general population. They wouldn't even put him in a protective custody for. They're like, we're gonna put you in Gen Pop.
And then
Michael Jackson.
Look at it when we kind of look at what happened, man. When we look at what happened with him, it destroyed his reputation. Brought him. It probably led to him ended up dying the way he did, overdosing. Yeah, because of how they tried to tear apart who he was as a person, try to make us believe that he liked kids and whatever else. But now look at what they're doing with Jay-Z. You know what I mean? He had to basically fight his case in the public's eye because that's what they wanted to do with the case. And it's not even a real criminal case. It's a civil case. And what this lawyer is doing now is basically he's coming on here and he's like, hey, I'm going to say you were a minor when it happened, so we don't have to reveal your name. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing was, it's crazy. The lawsuit was there before. And then it had just Diddy's name on it, but it wasn't getting no traction. So they brought it back and then put Jay-Z's name on it. So the guy's just fishing. You know what I'm saying? And so Jay-Z wrote him a couple letters. He's like, bro, where I'm from, we don't play like that. We don't play with little kids. We don't do none of that stuff. He's like, I'm not the one you should be messing with. You about to learn that lesson real quick. Because Jay-Z got too much money and too much time on his hands. That's what I be saying. Don't let people with anger and too much time on their hands, don't mess with those kind of people. When you do, because that's like dating a woman on Section 8, and she got 2 kids that go to school during the day. She got nothing else to do but sit at home and be in your business. I
also feel like, another big thing of it was the fact that I think Diddy is fighting his case, and he probably pushed information that he had to hey, tell his lawyers to talk to Jay-Z and talk about this, because this dude Busby has 120 plaintiffs against Diddy right now. 120 people. This is not to say none of this stuff is true. I don't know if it's true or not. But to me, when you're an ambulance chaser and you're just piling on, I had not really an argument, but kind of an argument with somebody that I know about this situation. I said, man, look, they were like, he's messing with kids. I said, no, it's a civil case. Don't we think if the feds had any inkling of any kind of kids or anything like that at all, they would have put that on his case already. He would already had that as a charge.
Well, I've been thinking that too. It's like, especially if it's like still within the range of where you can actually, have someone criminally charged, and it just comes out.
What is the range anymore? What's the range anymore? There's no range, man. Like I know they had a amnesty, some type of amnesty or something like that when they were dealing with the, when in New York they had something where they had a law to say by this time you need to file this paperwork by this time. But I don't know what is the range. They're giving people charges from years ago, even to this day. You know what I mean?
With no way to prove it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, think about it, if it has to go off he say, she say, nobody's going to win. It'll just be up to a jury who they believe more. You know what I'm saying? And so.
And that's why people go civil too, because civil's only 50-50. You only got to be able to say, do you kind of believe it? But in a criminal case, it has to be beyond a reasonable doubt. It has to be 100%. We believe this is what happened. And that's why these guys go.
250 people that would say anything about Puffy. They mad they
didn't make
the band. You know what I'm saying? He's been out there since the early 90s. So, but Jay-Z, you never really hear stories about him being out there like that.
But they've been building since this whole Puffy thing. They even said, "Oh, next we're gonna get Jay-Z and Oprah." But it seems like, to me, it just seems crazy because it's our black star, it's our black, successful people,
Once
and that's
again,
what
like
I kind of
easier to go after them because we join in the fight. Think about it. Who made up the word the diddler? No Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Like
it all the time, like he's actually done something wrong. But the fact of the matter is, most of us are angry with him because he was messing with men. Is that illegal? Is that wrong?
Most people think he killed Tupac.
But come on, we think just go. So are we angry with him behind a war that two people?
I'm not angry with Puff Daddy at all
about it. Either Tupac was going to kill him or he was going to kill. If that's what happened, if that's what happened, you know what I mean? Like that's the kind of the way it was going to play out.
It's just we have to stop jumping into Freud, because black folks will jump in that shit just I'm saying black people jump in that shit just for likes. You'll say some horrible shit about somebody and be like, yeah, man, you just destroyed this whole dude's career for 6 likes.
And then they also said the girl who Jay-Z, the problem that he's having, the girl came out and her dad was like, nah, I don't remember picking you up from this concert because actually this venue is 5 hours away from my house. So that's like you. I was like, okay, I got a kid, right? And I'm like, I'm gonna drop my kid off at this venue somewhere, but it's like it's 5 hours away from my house.
13-year-old child in the year 2001, before cell phones would let you have free calls before 8 o'clock.
I'm gonna drop you off 5 hours and then drive home.
Yeah.
and then come back and get you afterward. You know what I mean? Like who? Like that's a whole
Right.
day.
But no way of you getting a hold of me in between that time because cell service was horrible.
And you know, it's just crazy to me that these people like they think that we're so stupid. And when you look at both of their cases, they both filed lawsuits against Diageo. Diageo is one of the largest spirit distributors, which is liquor, you know what I mean, champagne, whatever, alcohol distributors in the entire world. Right. They basically the ones who put your liquor on people's shelves. They have all the shelves in all the stores that go through these companies right here. Jay-Z files a lawsuit against them saying that, hey, you guys aren't putting my liquor, which is like Ace of Spades and Douce. You're not putting my liquor inside of you're only putting my stuff inside like urban areas, which you would think black people are. You're not putting my stuff on shelves in like suburban areas and other areas we don't feel like my liquor's not going to do as well. So he filed a lawsuit against them, and he won billions of dollars because they found Diageo guilty of doing that. You know who the next person was who had to deal with them was Puffy. He was like, oh, you guys gonna give him billions. My liquor brand does bigger numbers than his, and you guys are doing the same exact thing with mine. So he filed a lawsuit against them next. And then all of a sudden, Cassie, everything else comes flooding out the air. Some of that stuff he had to pay for. That's life. You got to go take care of that because this is what you did. But some of this other stuff, we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna see if it's real or not. He said the CIA is behind all this.
The CIA is not allowed to operate in America.
He said they're not allowed to.
Yeah, the CIA is not supposed. It's not supposed to.
I mean, look, hold up, time out. They was the ones giving what's his name, Freeway Rick Ross the dope.
They were bringing it in from Nicaragua
and giving Freeway Rick Ross the dope.
Okay, cool. Yeah, they did the operation was outside of the country and they brought it into the. So what, but they're not operating in the country.
Yeah, they are because he was operating with the CIA. That was his operative was dude who was giving him the dope.
Yeah, I watched Snowfall. But yeah, the guy
read the paperwork too. COINTELPRO.
They're bringing it in the country though.
But COINTELPRO is what happened when they were bringing it in and they were handing it off to black dealers and then busting them later on down the line after they gave them 100 birds and let them make millions of dollars. Then they busted them later on down the line. That's pretty much what happened with that as well. What else we got from last week?
Actually, it's crazy. Crazy story. Martin Luther King he didn't die from the initial assassination shot. He died at the hospital. Like they refused to give him medical service. They pinched his nose and they made him stop breathing.
And so the fact of the matter is, I mean, like you said, they did kill King though too because they were found guilty of it though.
Yeah,
the government was found guilty of killing Martin Luther King. I think the Malcolm X's family is going back and doing a thing about them too as well right now and saying that they killed them too. You know what I mean? Like they're going back, hey, you guys killed my father or my family member as well.
There's this thing I've been seeing. I got to read more on it, folks. So I'm gonna wait to kind of explain it the way I want to. But there's this article I've been seeing. It's called Reverse Molecular. Hold on, let me show you.
What is it about?
It's like scientists call for a global pause on creating mirror life before it's too late. So basically it's like this thing they can make mirrored cells, and it's like basically it's the start of zombieism. And they're saying it for real. No. So there's so it's like reverse molecules. So if I was to put my hand out to shake your hand, you would put the same hand out. And it would seem kind of awkward to me, but it's like reverse molecules. So basically what it can do, it can change the DNA in people. So like someone could get sick and you know what I'm saying, it can mutate. And then so that sickness could get passed on to somebody else and it can change the whole DNA. I got to read more on it. I've been reading on it for the last 2 days. It's fucking nuts, but they're doing it already. And the science community is like, we need to stop because this is actually going to get out of hand. Like it's going to create new diseases. It's going to mutate our bodies.
I mean, at the end of the day,
it has good health risk. It has good health stuff for people. Cause you can if someone has a deteriorating back, your spinal cord is just deteriorating. Kind of like, I can't remember the word right now. Sorry. I had a rough night. But it's like you can put this, you can fix a person's back again. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of this stuff they're going to have to end up doing in order to be able to make advancements. There's going to have to be some trial and error on things that they do here right now. A lot of the cures that we've come up with because they were messing around probably with other, you know what I mean, with bringing in other viruses and things like that. That's a normal thing for it to happen. You know what I mean? So this is all just a part of the game, man. I think there's gonna be a lot more, biological warfare. There's gonna be a lot more drone warfare. If you can destroy an entire population of people without having to fire a shot, it makes more sense. right or wrong. You feel
Yeah.
me?
Or if you could probably just, I mean, America, you destroying us from the inside out. That shit's easy.
What do you think about this? About
You,
Biden's?
you know what's crazy, bro? Like people saw an invisible threat like COVID and stole all the toilet paper they could find. You know, say people were online. They bought like there's a guy, he bought all the sanitizing stuff around his like within like so many square miles of him, and then he tried to sell it on Amazon and got arrested for it. So I mean, if someone tells you, hey, these drones in the sky, they're from Iran, they're searching for somebody that's running around here with a nuclear bomb, or we're looking for a nuclear weapon, people go fucking nuts.
So what do you think about this this whole birther thing that Trump's come out with here? You know what I mean, as far as like him saying that he's going to try to get rid of birthright citizenship. So basically in our country, we have it so that if a person is born in our country, say you travel here from another country on vacation and you're pregnant and you have your baby here in this country, your baby's a citizen of this country. So, or even if you cross the border illegally with your child, and I mean, with the pregnant, and you have a child here in this country, your child's automatically a citizen of this country. He's trying to end that now and make it so that's illegal. But it's a constitutional right. It's in the Constitution. So it should be a lot harder to get rid of something that's in the Constitution. I think you have to have like 2/3 of the vote of the Senate. You know what I mean? Why do you think that makes sense? Huh? I mean, no, he doesn't. Not in the Senate. He doesn't have 2/3. He has like 53, maybe 54 senators. 2/3 is like 66 senators or something like that. Pretty much, you got to have 66 senators. Why do you think that makes sense, JB? I mean, just to ask the question with you, why do you think that makes sense? I mean, if this is what's been happening here for years, it just to me, I'm gonna tell you,
they're taking advantage of it. Like I said, like I'm not pointing out any kind of nationality, but they said that's how the Chinese would do. They'd come over. Woman would be like 6-7 months pregnant, come over with a visa, be here for the 3 months, give birth to the child. Now the child has dual citizenship. But where does his alliance align with? You know what I'm saying? Are you going to be a full-blown American and assimilate yourself into what we're doing? Or are you going to come over, keep your culture, never learn English, stay within your circle, never, you know.
I mean, but no, people don't. Who do you? I don't know anybody who's come to this country. I don't know anybody who's ever came into this country who lived here from when there was a kid and never learned English. Who do you know? Name one. I don't know.
Anybody.
I'm not.
Hey, listen,
let me just say, put that next one on the screen too. But let me say this.
English, Wes.
Let me say this too. At the same time, it's like this. What's the difference between that and people coming over here and getting manifest destiny or getting to take people's land from them when they first got here? You know what I mean? Like it's the same exact thing. And let me just say this too.
We can't talk about musket times no more.
No, hold on. Wait.
Manifest destiny. Yeah,
I'm just being real. This okay? So this is how they flood.
Take it back. Is anyone going to make them change Thanksgiving and Christmas?
So this is how they flooded. This is how they flooded America with their people. And at the same time, you're talking about very few people. We're not talking about millions of babies being born here. We want to, you know what I'm saying, all the time. It's not happening. You know, at all. You know what I mean? He says he sees them at the airport. I believe you, but my personal opinion on it is I feel like it's really, really funny right now when you start talking about mass deportations, you start talking about ending birthright citizenship, you start looking at, we want to end abortion, all at the same time. On top of that, poisoning the blood of America. Look at the narrative that's being painted and what they're pushing for. They're not pushing for a purification or a better America. You're pushing for a purification of keeping a certain race in power or in place as the dominant race, period. This is what this whole agenda is set up for. It has nothing to do with anything else. The fact of the matter is we need immigrants in this country. We keep talking like we don't, but we do.
Who's we?
This country as a whole. To me personally, I'm involved with this country for a long time because like we own property here. We're stuck here. This is where we're at.
Does anybody else be upset that I had to go to school for 12 years and learn English in cursive that nobody else uses, and then everybody else can just come over here and do what they want? I don't care. I don't care what people be doing because it don't stop me from making my money. It don't stop me from working. It don't stop me from doing nothing. I think it's a lot of just fear mongering. Like I saw a guy one time where I was listening to this space they had in on Twitter, and the guy was like, look, he's like, I'm a white dude, I live in the Midwest. He's like, a lot of this stuff that goes on in America doesn't affect any of us here at all. He's like, but the people watch it on TV and they take it personally, even though it doesn't personally affect them. And so they vote against their own best interest because they think they're hurting imaginary people they've never met before in their lives. Now, I mean, some cities, yes, they are overrun by immigrants. And it's crazy when people don't want to assimilate into the American lifestyle.
What cities do you think are overrun by immigrants?
Overrun by immigrants? You can say New York. We saw the violence out there. We reported on that. Los Angeles.
That's not overrun though. You're saying overrun is like, to me, like you got to go outside your house and there's nothing but immigrants around and you got to worry about immigrants everywhere you're going. People ain't. I don't think that's happened. I think that I'm gonna tell you why that looked so bad, because they took 100,000 people from Texas and sent them up to New York at one time.
And what's the New York
100,000
people there now? No, he with the borders are. He's like, you right. They got to go.
No. What he said was, if they committed a crime, you can come get them, which is true. You should be able to come get them if they committed a crime.
Been kicked out.
You commit a crime, you're out of here. I don't care what. I'm not the type of dude like, oh, you can commit crimes, whatever else. No. But what I would really like is a bill in place to say, hey, let's speed up the process to get people so that they can either be vetted and seen, okay, you should be a citizen or you can't be a citizen. Get them to take their test, speak, because I think during your getting your visa or whatever, your green card or whatever it is, you gotta be able to speak English. You got to be able to write, do all that kind of stuff. That's the way that you get people to speak English. Well, then get the process in place so they can go ahead and do that. So we can keep on getting people in here. Because as soon as we take out 20 million people out of this country, 20 million, that's what it is. He's saying it's 20 million. That's like, what state is that? What state is 20? Washington State's only got 12 million people in it. Washington State, the entire state. Imagine knocking the entire Washington State off the map. How much money that's coming out? I believe they are trying to learn English, because if you don't,
if they wanted to learn English, they learn English. There's people out here that don't speak a lick of English.
How long they been here? How long they been here? They may not been here that long.
Bro, they be like, yo, my grandma been in America for 20 years. They never learned English. Come the fuck on.
Because she probably sat in the house and didn't go anywhere. She was probably a grandma at the house. Most people who actually have to get a job and do stuff.
She's a cook and a breeder.
I know. I'm saying that she was grandma. She probably came here when she was 60 years old and was like, I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm going to watch the kids. I'm a feed. I'm a cook. And you go to other countries, man. People have there's different hierarchies in the way it's set up than what is set up here. We want it to be that way, where the Abula or whoever else you want to call them, you go home. She's the one helping take care of the kids. She's the one, cooking dinner, doing whatever else. They have that set up. So that's probably what she is. I know people right now who don't speak English, but it's not because they don't want to. It's because it hurts them from job opportunities. You don't have as many job opportunities as if you don't speak English. It ain't like you're going to be able to make a lot of money if you don't speak the language. It's like me going somewhere else. I want to learn the language, but it takes time. That's just not easy. Bro, it's super easy to learn a foreign language.
Restaurants I go to is where the only person that speaks English is the one taking my money, and they're barely doing a good job. They'll be like, hey, number two, like, yes, no beans in that. No bean. Got you.
So, but do you think that those people actually do not want to speak the language?
No, they don't have to. There's nothing making them do it. Think about it. America's a for-profit country. So instead of them making these people at least assimilate into us a little bit, they'll put Spanish on the signs. They'll actually buy a sign and put different languages.
There's places that do the same thing in other countries. They just don't have as much money as we do to do it everywhere. You go some places, the same place, they don't even have stoplights, bro. Like, okay, this place don't even have stoplights. They got enough money to worry about. I mean, only place they're gonna do that is in a tourist place where they might put English beside somewhere. Everywhere else, they're not doing that shit anywhere else, bro. I didn't went to San Antonio before. This was like probably 12, 13 years ago, and all they spoke over the speaker at Walmart was goddamn Spanish. That's it. I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't know what was going on. I had no idea. I couldn't understand none of it.
Yeah, that's like the Filipino ladies I used to work with at Walmart. Man, that lady's accent was so deep. She got up there, she'd say what she had to say, and someone had to come behind her and repeat what she said.
Well, I mean, but are we looking at that as a negative thing? We got to look at, okay, the richest man in the world, in our country right now, is an immigrant, a legal immigrant. He was illegal when he came here.
He's legit a real African American.
You feel what I'm saying? It's crazy. Like, we sit back and we look at who made Google. I think they were immigrants, or their parents were they're like first generation. Look who made, you know what I'm saying? We got to stop looking at
Hey, I thought of this question last night.
Did you know, like, he's put up a quick thing. Do you know that they're taxing and they're taxing us to feed corporations? Do you know that they're taxing us more money to feed corporations than to feed people? I mean, by like 200, 3, by 400 or 500 times, maybe more, 1,000 times. They say $30. It takes about $30 a year out of all of ours that we're taxed, or maybe say 40 now, that we're taxed per year to feed for food stamps. But it's like we pay over $1,000 a piece. We pay over $1,000 a piece for corporate welfare, for corporate subsidies.
I just saw somebody online.
You know what I mean? So it's way more.
Some food stamps. I couldn't get to them quick enough though.
No, I hear what you're saying, but to me, I don't have a problem, because I know that. So would you rather your tax money be spent on homeless people? That's a question to you.
I'd rather it be spent on infrastructure, homeless people, and building communities. But
So
I mean,
do
I
we
don't.
feel like
But that's the funny thing. We always want to say, I want my tax money to be spent on this, and the people that collect your taxes is like, yeah. Keep saying whatever you
I
want.
mean, and even
I'm going to take
when
it
we
from
say,
you, and I'll decide what I want to do with it.
but even when we say that, when it comes time, we're like, man, we don't want to spend our tax money on these homeless people. What are we putting that there for? We want to put it towards some this, that, and third. But then we put our money over here. We get mad about that too. We don't want to spend our money on
Well,
schools,
bro, think about it. Like,
on
no one,
school levies.
they could fix the homeless crisis. They could do that in a year. But why would they? The people that get paid to temporary fix, it's like the medical field. You know what I'm saying? There's no money in the cure. No money
That's
at
true.
all. If you get all the
That's
people
true.
off the street, then what are you gonna do? Now
Let
you
me ask-
homeless.
Let me ask you a question, JB, real quick, between you two. How many immigrants do you know that don't have a job or are just sitting on a corner trying to get free money?
We don't
with
speak
signs?
immigrant.
I'm at.
They don't talk to
You
us.
don't have to talk to you. Got a sign. You can have a sign with whatever you need on there. That happens plenty of time. How many do you know? How many do you know are trying to work, or trying to go get some money, or ones that you've seen trying to get some money?
I don't know.
I'm not saying I'm not saying they're in school. I'm not saying that you got kids in school. I'm saying, but how many do we know that are actually out there trying? They're trying to grind. We know places we can go and pick up a crew right now. If we want to go build something, we know where to go pick a crew up at right now. And who are they mostly? People who don't speak a lick of English at all, but they'll build and work however need. They're not sitting outside, you know what I'm saying, with a sign saying down on my luck, need a couple bucks. They don't have that sign. They're not doing that. They're trying to work.
On a corner with his two young kids begging for money, and then on the other corner was a guy spinning one of them flippy signs. I was like, damn. That must be embarrassing.
It's two separate things going on. I'm just saying, me personally, immigrants want to work. That's what I feel like. I feel like they're bringing something to this country. We get mad and we always compare them to homeless people, but why are we not taking care of our homeless problem? We cared enough. We would take care of the homeless problem too, but we don't. Only time we want to talk about the homeless problem is when something else comes up. Oh, why aren't we taking care of the homeless? Why don't we take care of them any other time then?
That's like every time like a school shooting happens, everyone's like, oh yeah, gun control. Like, nah, bro. Like, leave that alone.
Yeah, I mean, but we do need some kind of, like, I'm not saying gun control, but we got to figure something out, brother. It's pretty bad.
We live in a violent country.
We got to stop that.
We watch violent shows. We watch violent sports. We watch violent movies. We listen to violent music. We're a violent country. Everyone has a gun. If you don't have a gun,
barricade your kids in school. Barricade your kids in school, but just leave the gun laws the way they are, and let them people just do whatever they want to do. But barricade our kids inside of prisons, pretty much.
Stop attacking law-abiding citizens when a criminal does something.
I don't think we need to. I think we need to have better gun laws, have better gun education. Better education in schools. We're not even looking at the core root of the problems, man. We don't care. We're like, okay, man, just arm the schools to the teeth. Make teachers get guns. Like, if I'm a teacher, I'm not coming here to have to shoot somebody and potentially now I end up like the Daniel Penny and I got to go to trial because did I shoot him and was it a good shot? Did I do the right thing? This happened. You know what I mean? Like, there's too much that we're asking teachers to do. We don't want to pay them enough just to teach. And there's 40 kids in class and half the kids don't know shit because most of them didn't go to school and didn't do half the shit they were supposed to do during the time they was in school. Like, we have bad. That's just a horrible way to think about it. Let's just arm our schools to the teeth, metal detectors, get them ready. They already said it's a school to prison pipeline. They already said that.
Do it in other communities. Hey, let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Sir, how do you feel about tipping?
What, like tipping people, giving people tips?
Yeah.
I mean, shit, there's nothing wrong with it. It depends on if you have.
Do you pre-tip?
What are you asking me this question for? Because it sounds like you're getting into some.
I'm just asking. Like, say if you order DoorDash, right? They want you to pre-tip before you get your service.
Yeah.
How do you? I don't pre-tip.
I don't like that either.
Too, like, I'll order some food and it's like, you want to put a tip? I'm like, sir, I'm not tipping you because you haven't done anything for me yet. I'm like, I have cash in my pocket. If I like what you give me, I'll tip you. But
everybody wants a tip these days, man. I'm at the airport, man, getting food, and it was a service basically, right, where it has like a kiosk, and I'm doing everything myself, everything. Did it on and had a tip on there. Like, what the fuck am I tipping you for cooking my food, which I'm already paying for my food to be cooked? What am I tipping for? Good service, absolutely. But I think that it got to a point to where
it's gotten out of hand. This one guy said he was like, look, I was at an airport and I went into a little place and I grabbed my own sandwich, I grabbed my own drink, and then I went up to the register to pay for it. And then the lady flipped around the screen and wanted a tip. He's like, what am I tipping you for? I just did everything myself.
Yeah, I just tip somebody. Sometimes I do it because I'm like thinking like maybe they'll put a little bit of extra shrimp in my little thing here or something. No. That's why I might think about doing it. But I mean, everything I'm doing, we're tipping. I'm looking at even like with Uber Eats, man. I'm just getting some Uber Eats, and I'm like, these motherfuckers already charging you hella, you know what I'm saying? Like just
Thank you.
different
No,
fees
I'm
on
against it,
top
bro.
of fees.
No pre-tipping. I'm not tipping you for something you haven't done yet. You know, like a pre-tip to me is like, yo, either you're gonna tip me now or you ain't gonna get good service. Like, I don't like that. I don't like tipping at all. You know, it don't make no sense.
See, I don't mind tipping, bro.
I'll tip my
good
bartender.
service, I don't mind tipping, man.
Quick enough.
I don't mind tipping. I think that a big thing is too that people get really angry with black people. They be talking about how black people don't like this. I hear it all. I have never not heard that. This is crazy to me that I hear that all the time, and I don't know if it must be some kind of truth because people say it so much. You know what I mean? It must have some kind. But I tip. I don't have a problem with
origin of tipping, right? Like it starts. You know, everything in America that's horrible derives from racism. Like the reason they didn't want to pay black people back in the day to work these jobs, and so they didn't. So that's what tipping came from. So you could tip them, so it wasn't like slavery kind of job. They still got some kind of pay, and that's the origins of tipping. You can anybody can Google that shit and see it's right there for everybody to see.
So why don't you like to tip? Is the bigger thing? What's the
sometimes it just doesn't make sense to me to tip people. Like I went to Taco Time the other day, order my food, and it had a tip thing on you.
I don't want to talk. Okay, I understand like. You know, like fast food restaurants.
Not everybody deserves a tip. Not everybody gets good service.
So if a person comes to your table and serves you and does everything else, you said you don't like the tip. Why don't you? Because that's the core part of it.
But I'm looking at it like this. Why can't I just walk up to the chef and tell him what I want?
Come on, brother.
That's all you doing.
This is all you doing. I can say it again, man. Say it again one more time to yourself, man. Say it slowly. I
walk up to the chef and be like, Chef, this is what I want.
How's he gonna do his job, man? You got 15 people. This is rational way of looking at it.
They can do it at Subway.
Man, that's because he's serving one person at a time. That's not a chef. That's like a person putting together. That's not a chef, brother. A chef is actually back there making your stuff. So you get what I'm saying. So what besides that, why don't you like the tip?
Why should I have sometimes tips aren't necessary. Like think about it, if I go to order some takeout, I'm not tipping you. They were like, well, they're doing a job. Yeah, that's the job they're getting paid for to do. So
I agree. I agree with that. I agree with that. I
called the food in and I drove down there to come get it.
I agree with that. That's like walk up. I did the work myself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I did the work myself. There's people who say stuff like, hey, if you can't afford to tip, you shouldn't be out here eating. You know what I'm saying? Like this, like, okay, they're like, okay, the meal came out to 120. So your tip, so what would you give on say your bill came out to $100? Just make it easy.
How was the service?
Round number.
The food? Where did I eat
good service, good food.
How many people?
Service, good food. I mean, let's just say 3 people with you.
3 people.
You and 2 other people. 3 people total.
On 120, I'm gonna give them $10.
So on 120.
Yeah, it's not my fault. I'm hungry.
I'm just saying that's
I could give them nothing.
Average tip should be between they say between 15 and 20%. 20% on the high end. That's how I look at it. 20% because some places don't make it so that they don't give a fuck. They're gonna put the tip in there already and call it a gratuity. You know what I mean? They don't care. They don't care about none of it. You saying $20 or 20%? $20. I think if it's 120, you gotta at least give 20. I mean, at least give about $20.
You know, people can say, hey, if you can't afford to tip, you shouldn't be out. And I'm like this. If you can't afford to get a regular job, why are you begging for tips from strangers? Why I gotta subsidize your check? Maybe you should just quit that job.
Begging for tips from strangers. You think of a person servicing you that's begging? That's not begging. I consider that working.
I'm saying it like this, bro. I'm in my job. I can't ask for a tip.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he's saying service industry. You're not a part of the service industry. Sorry, bro. You're not actually putting a hot plate in your hand, going to get it. Have to remember, make sure they got straws, doing all the little stuff that matter at a table. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not doing any of that. You're not dealing with a lot of fucking rude people, kids, all kind of shit all day long that you got to deal with.
If you don't like it, leave and go get a job that actually pays you adequately enough where you don't have to worry about, I need to make this much in tips.
I think that's what
after a while, that job's a choice. And now it's becoming something where it's supposed to be like tips are mandatory. No, it's optional. You don't have to tip. Tipping, it doesn't matter if you got hundreds of billions of dollars. You don't have to tip anybody. It's optional.
I would never want to serve you if I was working at a restaurant. I would be like, hell no, don't get D-Max table. I'm good. But listen, brother, I think that's what makes them want to like that's the part of the job that says, okay, I'll take this job because there are tips. You look at like bartenders, man. The reason why you think most of them just like, oh, I want to go work and be a bartender.
Yeah, I tip my bartender.
No, what I'm saying is the reason why they do those jobs because they get tips. They know they can go home with, you know, a couple hundred or, you know, whatever dollars that night that they can make extra on top of whatever they get out of their paycheck.
Person that don't give you no tip, bro.
So what about the places? Let me say this real quick. Let me say this real quick.
Because they put a jug in front, like, hey, you can tip me if you want. I don't have to, and I shouldn't be shamed into not wanting to tip you. I don't have to. Tips are optional.
Some places they only pay $2.50 to like they only give like $2.50 an hour to like service workers, like whether you're a waitress, bartender.
Why would you do that to yourself?
No, that's just some jobs just do that, and then that's when your tips kick in, and you're supposed to make the money off your tips.
Or you could just go get a regular job that pays you hourly. I'm saying, you have this a choice to go take these jobs where you might get a tip and you might not, and it's a choice for me to look you in the face and say, I just paid $120 for a meal. Why the fuck am I giving you more? Your job should pay you. Think about it. In Europe, they don't even take. You try to tip somebody in Europe, they're going to be insulted. Like, what is this?
There's a lot of places where you're not supposed to tip at. I mean, don't get me wrong. You know,
the tipping culture in America has just got out of hand. It's gotten out of hand.
I think it's starting to leak into too many different parts.
If my kid wants some DoorDash and they order DoorDash, they don't know about no tipping. They barely got the money for their food, and now the driver's going to be mad. And you see the people I'm not delivering the food because you didn't give me a big enough tip, bro. It's not mandatory, and people feel like they just should get a tip just because they're doing something. No, you shouldn't be tipped. Some people have terrible customer service, but they still want a tip. It's not how it works.
No, I agree. I understand. I think if you have bad customer service, you should not. I'm not giving you a tip either. You know what I mean? If it's bad customer service, I might give you a little tip. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna give you a heavy one. I'm gonna give you something small. I'm gonna give you something light. You're getting 5-6%, maybe 7%. You know what I mean? If it's just bad service, not because in my mind I think it's bad service because they didn't bring the straw when they first brought the drinks. I mean, you know what I mean? Some people just are like that. I've been places with people, man, who just complain the whole time. I'm embarrassed to even be here with the person. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, brother,
I met somebody like
I was gonna take you with me. Everything is wrong with your food. Everything is wrong with your food, brother. Everything was wrong with their food. You know what I mean? So me personally, I'm not going anywhere with that person again. You feel me? And I'm like, I feel bad out, and I'll tip extra based off of that because I can't be around people who act that way. And I'm not going anywhere with you either, D-Mac. That's another thing. We're not going nowhere together because I'm not doing all the tipping.
You don't even leave your house.
I don't, but I'm not in my house right now.
Am I in my house right now? Don't even believe him, folks. That's a fake. And that's what he can find. You know what I'm saying? That's why he has to tip.
Hey, you're stupid, bro.
He's like this one with the different colored walls and the air.
And
this is perfect. Yeah, perfect.
And the fake fan. Hey, listen. So, what did you think about the tariff things? What do you think about the thing going on with Trump saying that he doesn't know if his tariffs are going to be able to are going to raise prices on food? And he thinks that he can't do anything about grocery prices. What do you think about that?
You know, he ain't got, man. I told you, man, like I said before, that man will tell you, he told you whatever he needed to tell you to stay out of jail.
Stay out the joint, man. Everybody voted. You know what I'm saying? Like as soon as they could, he just came out and said, well, grocery prices are going to be really difficult to bring down. Like, well, god damn, didn't we all any, but they're not really though, because you can do laws, which they call communists. You can do laws, which you say, hey, you're not allowed to price gouge on these things, or you're not allowed to have, there's a lot. You said prices about the skyrocket through the roof. Everyone knows it. The only way you can go have a tariff war with countries, we already saw what happened. You talked about it, D-Mac. We saw what happened. We had a tariff war with China. You know what I'm saying? He was taking farmers, saying farmers were going out of business.
The farmers in America had to get welfare because it crippled them. It crippled the gooey duck farm. It crippled everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was bad. And they tried to keep it, but he couldn't have nobody to blame. He was trying, well, it's this person. So like when the tariff stuff, bro, like we can speak on it now, but like I just need to watch the day one of his presidency. That's when I need to start speaking on his shit. Because he can say whatever he wants. He's been saying it since when he was running for president. But I need to see what he's gonna do now. Like, I don't even want to talk about. I mean, we're gonna talk about it because that's what we do. We're gonna cover it. But it's like I need to start seeing it because he says a whole bunch of wild, outlandish things.
But he does. What did he do when he first got in office with the tariff thing? What he said he was going to do with China last time? He did it. He put the tariffs in place. He's not afraid to use tariffs as a weapon. He's not.
I need to get my drone ready so I can watch the tanks roll down the street.
My personal thing, I think when he comes in, he puts the emergency when he puts an emergency order in place to start rounding up the immigrants. I think that's
going to go national emergency.
And I think everyone's going to be fine with it. I think people are going to be okay with it.
At first, until people start disappearing and they start rounding up citizens.
Who's going to start disappearing and who's going to care about that?
U.S. citizens will start disappearing.
I understand that, but
I guarantee that.
Which ones? You know what I mean? You got to understand who's going to disappear. It ain't going to be the ones who he already said. He's not talking about the ones who's not poisoning the blood of America, the ones who are not coming in through the southern border.
Oh, no, they can't skip over immigrants. If I point to some dude and be like, yo, he's an immigrant from the Czech Republic, and homeboy ain't got his wallet on.
They're gonna look at you like, man, no, that's Zachary from somewhere else. They don't care about none of that. They're listening to what you got to say about that.
We got no local PD that go to the softball games and the bars and all that stuff. No, you're gonna have military here. Hey, we're gonna have to round you up, test your fingerprints until we can figure out who you are. They have no sympathy. They're not going to be by the law. It's going to be martial law, bro. They're not going to care. They'll round up everybody. And if you ain't got your paperwork on you, or if you ain't got your social security number and ID or something on you, they're gonna hold, just like in LA. If you ain't got no identification, they're gonna hold you until they figure out who you are.
I mean, I don't know. My personal opinion is I don't think they're gonna round up everybody. I think they're gonna round up the people who they feel are. I mean, look at what they already have. There's a blueprint of this stuff already going on in Phoenix and Arizona. There's a blueprint of it going on in Georgia, in Idaho. You don't hear any American citizens talk about I'm being rounded up. They already have laws in those states where they're saying if they think you are an immigrant, the Gestapo, yep, true. Where they think you're an immigrant, they can detain you. I haven't heard not one American come out and say they've been detained. I guarantee you, it's mostly Latino Americans or Latin Americans, you want to say, or it's people who Haitian Americans or whoever. Those immigrants are the ones they're grabbing. They're not grabbing nobody else. Look at the lady.
I hope whoever comes to my house, bro, and they figure out that I'm not an immigrant, I'm like, I need you to tell me which one of my neighbors told you this.
But look at the cat lady though too. Now I hear what you're saying, but look at the cat lady who ended up getting a year in jail for eating the cat in Ohio.
They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. They're eating.
She was from Ohio. You know what I mean? She was from Akron. I mean, not Akron. Sorry, she was from Canton, Ohio. She was an American citizen, 100% born in this country, family born in this country, the whole nine. They said she was Haitian. That was good enough for everybody around the country and around the world to run with and say that's a Haitian because she's black. Yeah, because she's a black person. So we're not. I'm not hearing about poisoning the blood of America coming from anyone in Europe. We're not hearing about that. So we're not going to see a lot of people who are not people of color getting rounded up. It's not going to happen. You might here or there. They might claim that they're this, that, and the third, but if they look anything like they have anything in them, any kind of cut, you're out of here, buddy. We're willing to round you up. It's not going to be everybody. That's just my personal opinion, man.
Yeah, we'll see.
We will definitely see.
All they got to do is round up enough people. I mean, watch. We'll see. Hey, everybody, we like to thank y'all for showing up to our town hall. We will be back next week, same time, same place. Well, I mean,
we appreciate everybody. We definitely appreciate everybody popping in. Thank you, JB. Yeah. Thank you, BK. We appreciate you guys leaving comments as well.
Yeah, if you guys ever want to come in and talk, and we can just let us know. Stop fear. Come on now. That's what we do, sir.
Put him on the screen. He said we're fear mongering. I'm trying to tell you, man. Hey, if fear mongering is repeating the facts, then that's a problem. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. If fear mongering is repeating back exactly, I think me personally, I think fear mongering is saying, what'd you call it? Blue light, blue shield, whatever you're saying. That's what he thought the project. That's what he thought the drones were from some Project Blue something. I can't remember, but it might be true because I got to do some research on it. He sent me over some information.
Anyway, it's too late now. This has been our town hall. Catch us next Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific time, Friday at 7 p.m. Friday Fix. And don't forget to check out our shows that we do every week throughout the week, trying to keep you updated on what the world's doing. Once again, my name is D Mac Uno. This is Big Head Wesley. And we'll see you guys next week.
All right.